and the writers. I was just wondering if you always intended to take the series in this direction, because you were writing Apocalypse, all that, or if you didn't always intend that when you decided.
You know, and I get this question a lot. I mean, here's the reality, and I'm always accused of being probably too honest. You start these things with like a cocktail napkin sketch of the 5-year plan. I mean, the 5-year plan is a couple pages. It's not much. And it was always driven by the demon side of it. So yes, the progression up the demon ladder, ending with Sam inadvertently going dark side and bringing on the apocalypse and having to deal with the apocalypse and kind of moving up the ladder from Yellow Eyes to Lilith to Lucifer. That's the plan we've been on. You know, the angels, and you can go back and find interviews that I gave where I was like, there will never be angels on this show over my dead body. And, you know, and obviously it's probably one of the coolest parts of the show. And that came from us, I think, in the writer's room, realizing that, like, we had a really cool evil empire, but we didn't have, outside of the few hunters we had, we didn't really have the rebellion. Like, we didn't have, you know, you couldn't have these awesome off-camera battles that sort of lent a real epic feel to the show. And that we felt there was a missing puzzle piece that kind of evolved as we went along, and that's where really the angels came from. And thank God they did, because totally rejuvenated season 4, in no small part to this guy. And Jim too. It was and so the angels, quite frankly, evolved. That part did evolve as the process, but the part of building up to facing down the devil has, that part at least, that thumbnail has kind of always been around since the beginning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey guys, love you all, love the show. Awesome.
Thanks.
One of my favorite things about the show has always been the music, and I feel like it kind of dropped off. So I was wondering, where did it go, and is it coming back?
I know, and believe me, as much as it hurts you, it hurts us 10 times more. It's budget. It's you know, we're just trying to get, you know, the production value on the screen, and we've had real nasty budget fights, and one of the casualties, I'll give you, we used to have a particular music budget for the show. It's like trying to balance the budget of the state of California. And one of the things that had to go is we cut the music budget in half. And we had to. And so we can now only afford one song every episode, one song every other episode. And when you go back and you look at season 1, and there's like 2 or 3 like badass classic rock songs an episode, and now we're lucky to have one every. But sometimes literally we're so over budgeted at times, we're so irresponsible with the size of the episodes we're writing, that sometimes it's the difference of getting the green light to shoot an episode, and you have to, you know, you got to make the painful sacrifices just to keep the cameras rolling, and unfortunately the music sometimes goes by the wayside. But at the end, you can ask the publicist at Warner Brothers for an address, and we can start a letter writing campaign.
If each of you would just contribute $100,000, we could put some more songs on here.
Yeah, and you know.
And we could go to a couple of cool places.
No, thank you. We can't take your money. All right, we'll take it.
That might be illegal, I'm not.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Hi. First off, Jim. It's glad to see Uncle Bobby back on the show after his little vacation on Harper's Island.
Thank you.
My question is for Eric. In episode 4, you said you teased about looking into the future. I want to know how you're going to address the themes of destiny and whether or not can be changed. Like, is it going to be like whatever happened, or can you change the future?
I actually want to throw that to the writer of the episode.
That's a good question. But actually, I think that's really the question of the episode. I think we put into that process that destiny is one of the key themes of the show. You know, and going 5 years into the future, this is a time travel story, so it has like a couple of mind-bending loop things going on, and the entire question of can you avoid it is really, can you avoid what you already know is going to happen? Can you change the outcome of the future by the choices you make? That's actually It won't be a satisfactory answer now, because that's actually what the episode's about.
And excellent casting of Mark Pellegrino for, you know, who.
Right. Can you talk a bit about that? Actually, if I can follow on, how much will we see Mark, and you know, what sort of level will he be at in terms of how much we'll see him?
Currently, he's shooting episode 1, episode 3, and then we probably actually won't see him for a while. If you remember, like, you know, the amount that we actually saw Lilith wasn't all that often, because every time you bring in a bad guy, it becomes like really challenging, especially if you want to create that bad guy as a truly formidable adversary.
Sure.
You know, because you can't meet up with the bad guy every week, get to know them, have them keep losing, have the bad guy keep losing, and then it starts to get goofy. And so, you know, he'll pop in, he'll make you know, random appearances. And then in terms of Mark, it's actually funny because I know, like, you know, he's done Lost, and he's badass as Jacob. I mean, I watch Lost, and he was in the running for Castiel. And it was, you know, it was. I only say this to pay credit to them both, which is it was between Misha and Mark, and they were both so excellent, and Misha squeaked by, but you know, Misha just sort of. I'm kidding. It's a joke. Misha embodied the character, and he brought that sort of curiosity to it that was really sort of thrilling, that kind of sort of alien curiosity. And so, but we always loved Mark, and he was always in the back of our heads, and so when the part of Lucifer came up, we said, we went right to Mark. He never even auditioned. We just made him an offer, and he took the part, and there you go. Are you okay?
I could have done Lucifer too.
Do you have another question?
Yeah, hi guys. Thanks for all the hard work to everybody from the cast and crew. You've done a great job out there. What I'd like to know is, for Eric, Sera and Ben, is when you go into the writing process in the writing room, I believe around about May time each year, how do you go from all those ideas and actually wrap them up into a series of episodes?
Yeah, that's all you get.
Coffee, mostly.
I'm mostly in a hot tub, so swinging Dom Perignon, like, what have you? I don't hear typing. So.
Wow.
It's kind of like American Idol. It's just the strongest ideas win. We start out with a lot of ideas we're in love with, and if they survive and they continue to make the cut, they end up on the TV screen, but we're just really, really hard on the ideas. They have to survive our frustration with them and with each other and the long hours. And it's not pretty in there. It's not pretty.
The smell is familiar but unpleasant.
Thank you. That's a really good question. Next one.
Hi, so at the beginning of the season, when we first were introduced to the concept of angels and religions with mythology, then a bunch of my friends of mine were worried about where it was going, but you guys took it and did such an amazing job telling such great stories with it. But the question is, on the other side of it, have you received any backlash about the way you could use the themes of angels, and can you speak to how that might fuel the stories that you continue to tell?
I mean, I don't. Yeah, I was going to say
Surprisingly little.
Surprisingly little was exactly the words I was going to use. I mean, every so often you see like an individual on a fan site saying, you know, I don't love the depiction of angels, or I don't love the idea of disloyal angels, or angels that mean ill will to mankind. But almost individuals.
Attract the interest of a special interest group, actually.
Maybe they sense that our intention is not to piss anyone off. I mean, we don't have an agenda. We don't have an agenda to criticize any one religion. We don't have an agenda to push any one religion. I think many people on the Ready stuff are quite agnostic, actually, and we were raised in various religions or no religion at all. And we come to this with a lot of curiosity, and we just want to tell the best story that we can tell and make life very difficult for our main characters. So we're just looking at it as a really fascinating story that has, you know, entranced people for millennia, basically. And I think because we mean no one any ill will so far, maybe we have escaped it, although this may be very bad not to talk about it.
No, I mean,